Chapter 8. Disguise and Recharge. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. John Milton, Paradise Lost. Do you ever come home so tired from manipulating you can no longer co-workers that do the same to your wife and children? Too tired to gaslight your wife into thinking she's crazy to think you're banging the totally hot and slutty nanny? It's because you're working too hard. No one can be on all the time, and all this acting takes work. You need to preserve some energy. One of the most difficult things for you is keeping up with appearances, day in, day out, over the long haul. It's understandable. Being charming to idiots gets soul-crushingly dull after a while, and perseverance is something you find difficult. It's your weak flank. But, when you reach that point when you're sick to death of chatting with old Mr. Drug about his inane farting dog and can hardly restrain yourself from throwing a vase at his head, remember, perseverance is essential. Narcissists, you will be happy to know, you have an easier time of it than other sociopaths. Being a talented sociopath is about being in control. At the end of the day, the difference for you between talented and fucked is self-control. As researcher Roy F. Baumeister has found, willpower is a limited resource. So, you must pick your battles and preserve your energy. The more effort you expend running your resting character, the more likely you will leak your sociopathic tendencies at inopportune moments, because your self-control is exhausted. At this point, you feel like the fat man who's been snarfing carrot sticks all week and is now staring down a bacon double cheeseburger, and it sucks. Impatient, edgy, and ready to blow is no way to go through life. True confessions. I try to keep myself personally running smooth, but some people can be irritating. The ones with all the questions about this little shit and that, they're not going to buy, but they keep asking about stupid seat heaters and shit. Well, anyways, if I'm around one of them and I feel myself getting ready to freak the fuck out, I just excuse myself and go to the bathroom for a minute. A little self-love, and you can cool out real quick. Then you can come back and you can deal. Mike Lee, Car Sales. Providence, Rhode Island. Mike is right. If you're about to yell at someone, you should just go masturbate instead.
Preserving energy and minimizing exposure. Extending the shelf life of your self-control depends on knowing when to expend yourself and when you can relax. Love thy neighbor. Proximity breeds exposure. The people you are around most often may not seem important to your getting ahead, but they are most likely to witness a sociopathic slip-up of yours, which could leak to just about anyone. Remember, you never know who's got a back channel to the boss. Be especially vigilant in controlling yourself around your cubicle mates, neighbors, and daily contacts. Even if they have no power, they are worth your attention. It may seem like a waste of time, but trust me, it's worth currying their favor. If you can win them over, they will be more forgiving of the nasty outbreaks that do occur. It's easier than you think. When there's nothing at stake, people tend to pick out things that are different about you and react negatively. Look at the amazing, pointless vitriol of internet trolls. But if you are all in the same boat, people will be motivated to find things to like about you, in the spirit of self-survival and cooperation. Studies show whether familiarity leads to liking or contempt crucially depends on our motivation. So the more you can project being part of the team, and the less you can expose your differentness, the more likely you'll be seen in a positive light by those crowding your space. Similar to the halo effect, assuming someone with one good quality will have other good qualities, it's a common belief that people who are similar to me in one way are probably similar to me in other ways. Exploit this. One simple way is to use cooperative and connecting phrases like, I hear you, me too, and we got this. Let go. Learn how to relax and carve out time to turn off your self-control, and learn to recognize when exercising your true nature is pointless. It will help you let it go more easily. You don't need to be Machiavellian in a restaurant. You're gonna get what you want anyway. You ordered a beer. You'll get a beer. You don't have to manipulate the waitress into bringing you one. Beyond requiring less energy, it's also smart. Not being over the top about exerting pressure lowers your exposure risk. For example, if you're out with a colleague you are intending to manipulate and inadvertently use one of your manipulation techniques on the waitress, your colleague could notice the similarity and get wise to you. Learn to relax in situations you don't need to control. Also, learn to recognize things you cannot control. There's a reason the Serenity Prayer by Reinhold Niebuhr is beloved by Alcoholics Anonymous. Another group who struggles with self-control. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Well, maybe skip the asking God for help part, but remember, if you can't control it, just relax. Let shit happen because it's going to anyway. Don't struggle uselessly against larger forces. It's a waste of time and energy.
True confessions. You see, what you're calling coercion there, honey, I call taking charge. Domination? How about making decisions? Manipulation? Nah, I'm just gifted at getting others to do what I want. That's why I got elected. Beau Bonifriend, Councilman, New Orleans. Make a private space. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know well the difference in vibe between the kitchen and the dining room. This is the difference between a public space and a private space, and the fancier the place, the bigger the difference. Up front the public sees smiles, crisp linen, and polished knives. But in back it's hot and hurried, cussy, and no one thinks twice about grabbing a steak off the greasy floor. As George Orwell wrote after working as a dishwasher, it is an instructive sight to see a waiter going into a hotel dining room. As he passes the door, a sudden change comes over him. The set of his shoulders alters, all the dirt and hurry and irritation have dropped off in an instant. He glides over the carpet, with a solemn priest-like air. Everybody needs a kitchen, or a man cave. This is especially true for you. This is very important. You need a place where you can shore up your flagging sense of self-control. Find a place where you can retire to and relax, which is out of sight. Maybe it's your private office, though a closed office door is always noticed and causes speculation, but needn't be. A habitual post-lunch walk around the block can provide a great private space, so long as you make it a seemingly mundane routine, doing it even on days when you don't feel you need it, so as not to arouse curiosity on the days when you do. In Victorian times, a place to retreat to when in a nasty mood was known as a growlery. As Charles Dickens writes in Bleak House, this, you must know, is the growlery. When I am out of humor, I come and growl here. Hollywood is full of creative sociopaths who make unusual private space for themselves. In fairy tales, heroes sometimes carry some kind of magic satchel, which can hold things much bigger than the satchel itself. Jack, of Beanstalk fame, hid from the giant inside one of these. In Harry Potter, Hermione stashes a beaded handbag in her sock, which holds enough supplies for an entire camping expedition. The appeal of a tiny thing able to hold a big thing is great. To relieve his blood pressure, one Hollywood manager, sometimes known as the Pink Yeller, bought himself a thick leather bag and called it his shouting bag. When he needed to spew hate, he would unburden himself by shouting into the bag, then close it up. The words were muffled by the bag, he felt a lot better, and no one could understand what was said. In the 1970s, a character actor brought his own trailer to set. He called it the Mayhem Room. The trailer looked ordinary, but was both soundproof and armored inside. Between setups, the actor would retire to his trailer and smash shit to smithereens inside. He would shatter bottles and glasses, plates, and televisions with a baseball bat, then return to set rejuvenated, relaxed, and in control. To care only for well-being seems to me positively ill-bred. Whether it's good or bad, it is sometimes very pleasant, too, to smash things. Fyodor Dostoevsky, Notes from the Underground. Make sure your private space has a warning system, so you have time to get your shit together, before someone sees you as you really are. This is what secretaries outside your door are for. If you don't have one of these, a security camera will work, but is generally seen as creepy and low rent. In ancient Japan, samurais had the floors in their palaces engineered to squeak loudly any time someone walked across them. Known as nightingale floors, these floors would raise the alarm of even the stealthiest intruder in a pitch-black room. While you're not going to re-engineer your floors, other noisemakers can come in handy, like bells on the door or blocking the route into your private space with a squeaky-wheeled mail cart. Get a cute dog who will bark when visitors arrive. He'll also make you seem like a kinder, gentler person. Use the tools available in your environment. It can be fun. Here's a last word from Orwell on alarms. All the discipline of the hotel depended on the manager. He was a conscientious man, and always on the lookout for slackness, but we were too clever for him. A system of service bells ran through the hotel, and the whole staff used these for signaling to one another. A long ring and a short ring, followed by 2 more long rings, meant the manager was coming, and when we heard it we took care to look busy.
Misdirection. Attention is like water. It flows. It's liquid. You create channels to divert it, and you hope that it flows the right way. Grift sense is the closest thing to a sixth sense we have. It's stepping outside yourself and seeing through the other person's eyes, thinking through the other person's mind. Apollo Robbins, pickpocket. It's not the tuxedo, it's not the rabbit. A magician's greatest asset is knowing how to control your attention and divert it away from the revealing mechanics of his trick. Using misdirection, he messes with you before your very own eyes, even though you're already suspicious and vigilant. He knows what you think you see, because he is making you think it. How? In Magic by Misdirection, Daryl Fitzky breaks the magician's code of silence to reveal these methods to you, which are detailed below. I'm not suggesting you wear a top hat and start practicing card tricks at a 5-year-old's birthday party, but a few of the magician's methods can help you hide, especially when you're under heavy scrutiny. Frame expectations by setting up some plausible bullshit story. This allows others to think they've come to their own conclusion about what you're up to, while you're actually doing something completely different. The magician leads the viewer down an explanatory highway from which there is no exit, or, better, from which there are 6 exits, all of them blocked. He opens a door by pointing to a window. Now, that's some voodoo-sounding shit, right? People like to sound all misto when they're talking about magicians, but it's simple, useful stuff. If you want to plant malware on JC's computer, don't creep in at the dead of night, dressed like a cat burglar, with all security cameras focused on you. Do it right in the middle of the holiday party. Then act drunk and pop a bunch of balloons while it's downloading. That's magic at work, baby. No one will notice what you're really up to. Inattentional, or perceptual, blindness describes the fact that people can't pay attention to everything in front of them all the time. They will miss very obvious things, especially if they are unexpected. For example, in one study, observers were asked to count how many times the members of a basketball team passed a ball to one another, while ignoring the passes made by team. While they concentrated on the counting task, most observers failed to notice a person wearing a gorilla suit walk across the scene. If you need to get a gorilla out of the building, create a consuming diversion. Some other useful tips from Mr. Fitzky: movement attracts attention but at the same time reduces visibility. This is the principle behind all card tricks and sleights of hand. Naturalness is an anesthetic to attention. When you do what you always do, no one pays attention. You should stick to your routine when you are up to something on the side. As soon as you say, "There's nothing to see here, folks," all eyes will be on you. Many tactics the magician uses are physical versions of those used in arguments. Both magic and arguments use the tools of attention control to distract, or to lead listeners toward a desired conclusion, regardless of whether it's true or not. Implication and suggestion are more effective than direct statements, which run the risk of being disbelieved, especially when you are under suspicion. Start with facts, the truth of which the subject is conclusively aware, then gradually move to things the spectator himself may not personally know to be true. From there, it's easy to jump to the improbable, or even the impossible. Forestall attention. Take action ahead of time. Do the critical thing before anyone else is alert and concerned about it. If you get caught, remember the ancient Chinese proverb, "It's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission." Confuse. Mix and blend many and dissimilar details, so it's impossible to distinguish the significant from the insignificant. Disarray and turmoil prevent logical deduction, enabling you to hide the significance of operative details. Divert. Substitute a new, and stronger, interest elsewhere. Magicians often do this by making their functional tools look ordinary and boring: a brown box, a tin can, a table, while the diversion is a hot chick dressed in barely more than a couple of feathers. It's no big stretch to imagine no one's looking at the table. If you want to avoid attracting attention to something, don't look at it or move toward it. If you want to attract attention to a decoy, appear to pay absolute attention to it. Tip: never reveal your intentions in advance.
Information control. Information control is essential to keep your position secure. Resist letting a secret slip in the name of enthusiasm or bragging. Once a secret is out, you can't get it back. This makes the secret useless and potentially damaging. I'm not trying to make you into an exhausted, tight-lipped paranoiac, but it's important to know how to differentiate types of secrets so you'll be effective at protecting your own and using other people's as a tool for casual blackmail. Irving Goffman classified 6 different types of secrets, which are useful for you to know. Dark secret. A secret so hidden, the fact you have a secret is itself hidden. The entire show Dexter is about this kind of secret, and what happens when people find out about your dark passenger. The fact that you are a sociopath is a dark secret. It's your core secret, but there are bound to be others. A dark secret is something hidden about you that is antithetical to the way you present yourself to others. Double lives, affairs, moonlighting for another company on the sly, building a spaceship in your garage, are dark secrets. Even if your secret falls far short of something as dramatic as killing hookers at truck stops on the weekend, the secretness itself is what upsets people, so guard them carefully. Discovering your dark secret will cause acute cognitive dissonance in the discoverer, so they will forever distrust and dislike you. Expect an irreparable breach in your relationship, followed by gossip and major damage to your broader professional career. Unless your dark secret is something amazing and wonderful, like a masterpiece or a time machine. Or unless you can come up with a humdinger of a redemption story to make your guarding of said secret seem totally understandable and sympathetic. In general, guard dark secrets at all costs. Strategic secret. People know you have it, but don't know the devil in the details. Battle strategies, trade secrets, grandma's pie recipe. If something is proprietary, or you're forced to sign an NDA, it's a strategic secret. Like the famous secret Coca-Cola recipe. Inside their Atlanta museum, Coke displays a giant flashy safe where the secret is supposedly locked up. But no one knows what the recipe itself is. Strategic secrets are common in the work environment. And listen to me. No matter how tempting, you must not give these secrets away. Even if they seem small or trivial. You want to brag at the bar or on Facebook? Save it. The protection of these secrets is much more important to the company than any employee, no matter how great you think you are. This is the quickest way to get fired. Do not reveal them, unless you do want to get fired and start living large on unemployment benefits. Then, leaking a strategic secret will get the job done quickly and efficiently. As you're getting fired, tell the HR team you will further leak the secret unless they write an acceptable reason for your termination in order to enable you to receive said unemployment benefits. They'll threaten to sue. Tell them they really don't want to have that secret coming up in court. They'll call you an asshole. You'll agree with them. They'll do what you want. And then you'll be home free. If you want to get a strategic secret out of someone else, hacking, infiltration, and robbery are the most direct means. But that's getting a little melodramatic and movie plotish. Getting people drunk and encouraging people to show you something, real quick, on their phone works better in the real world. Just be alert to the fact that when you're trying to get a secret out of someone else, they may well be trying to get one out of you.
Inside secret. Think of this kind of secret as knowing about a surprise party or the address of that totally cool after-work drink spot. Those in the know are separated from everyone else. Inside secrets usually have to do with gossip and social status, and while they may seem frivolous on the surface, they are common currency among those with indirect power. If you find yourself surrounded by people who broker in inside secrets, use it to your advantage. The circulatory system of inside secrets is a great place to spread rumors and gossip, which move quickly, a back channel where you can secretly get other people to blow things up for you. Entrusted secret. A secret shared in confidence. Something you tell your lawyer, as in I really did kill Nicole. Like the strategic secret, do not leak an entrusted secret, no matter how tempting it might be. Free secret. A secret you can share without getting mud on your face. They are usually offered in a breathless, I gotta tell you something or did you know kind of way. These are hardly secrets at all and aren't worth shit. Don't waste your energy guarding free secrets. Latent secret. These are the ticking time bomb of secrets. All the destructive information is available, but the dots haven't been connected yet. If you're at the center of a damaging latent secret, the best thing you can do is divert attention. Tip: if you need to take a meeting with someone you suspect is trying to get information out of you, schedule the meeting in an uncomfortable location. In a room with no chairs, groups came to a decision 34% faster than in a regular conference room. Remember, when in doubt, it is best to keep it tight. The fewer people in on the secret, the better.